You want to go to scratch.mit.edu and you're going to sign up for an account. So I'm just going to sign out so I can show you how to go through an account. So you're going to click Join Scratch. You'll choose a username. Then you'll choose a password and confirm your password. It doesn't matter what your username is. On the next screen, you're going to have to put your birthday, just the month and the year, and then you'll have to put your email address. It's fine to put your birthday in as long as you haven't used your real name. Also, make sure you use your Google email address to sign up. So use your at berkeleyprep.net email address. And what I would highly recommend that you make your password what your computer password is, because you'll be in charge of remembering your own login and your own password for Scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And what Scratch is it's a place where you can basically create games. You can create all kinds of things. I have created a game. I know some of you have already used Scratch before, so you don't even need to watch this tutorial if you already know how to use it. But to get started, you're going to click the Create button. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see a little cat, and this is called a sprite. You'll see all the sprites down here, and a sprite is any element of your game or any element of your main screen right here. Your sprite is going to do whatever you want it to do. So all of these things right here are the things that you can choose for your sprites to do. So to make it simple, I'm going to choose an event, and I'm going to say when the green flag is clicked, because that's an event, the clicking of the green flag. It could also be when you click a certain button. It could be when you click this specific sprite, but I'm going to choose when the green flag is clicked. And I'm going to say a motion. I'm going to have my cat move 10 steps, turn 15 degrees, move 10 more steps, and then you can make a sound. So I'm going to have my cat do a meow. Don't do that too much because it gets to be annoying. So this is a very simple one. Here's what happens. So 10 steps isn't very far, so I could change it to 25 steps. And he moved a little further, and it all happens very quickly. Over time, you can set it up so that you can control your cat. So I'm going to throw these away by moving them off of the action, dragging them back over here, and they go away. So this time, I'm going to change it, and I'm going to say, instead of the green flag being clicked, I'm going to say when the right arrow is pressed, move 5 steps. So now, whenever I press the right arrow, the cat is going to move 5 steps. Right arrow, you can probably hear me pushing it. So there he is. The left arrow does nothing. So I'll go back and I'll say, when the left arrow is pressed, then you will move 5 steps. So, pressing the green, left, he's moving positive. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to move negative 5 steps. That way he'll move backwards. So now he's heading backwards or forwards depending on which key I'm pressing. So I'm going to introduce another sprite, and so I can make it a little bit of a game. I'm going to choose the choose sprite, and then I will pick a butterfly. So now you see my second sprite is on the screen, and you see my cat still, but notice all of my directions for the cat are gone because I'm currently clicked on the butterfly. So again, here's the sprite for the cat and all the actions. Here's the butterfly sprite with nothing. So I'm going to leave the butterfly right here with no actions at this point. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up so that whenever the cat is touching the butterfly, the cat will say hello for 2 seconds. So I went ahead and stopped the video and got this all figured out because I had a glitch that I had to troubleshoot, and you'll have to troubleshoot some glitches along the way, and that's just part of the process. So I set it all up so that, and I want to show you what didn't work for me so you can understand something. when the green flag is clicked, if the cat is touching the butterfly, then say hello for 2 seconds. So I'm going to click the green arrow and I'm going to move forward, and notice the cat doesn't say hello because at the time that the green flag is clicked, the cat isn't touching the butterfly. So what you have to do, and this is a little intro to coding, and if you've done some coding, you may have heard of this before, you have to introduce a forever loop, meaning always that for this whole time, if the cat is touching the butterfly, then say hello for 2 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and click the green arrow, and then I'm going to go forward, and the cat will say hello for the time that it's touching the butterfly, and then it won't. So again, even if you're going backwards, the cat's touching the butterfly. So you see little actions that you can take. So just to introduce some other quick ideas here, you have a pin, so you can put a pin down to make a color. You don't need to worry about data at this point. Events are when something happens, like you click a button, you push an arrow, you make your mouse click. Controls are kind of the Lego blocks of the whole game, or of the whole website, because this is kind of what decides what happens. If the cat touches the butterfly, then say hello. If it's sensing, meaning sensing is what things are near or what you want to happen. If one or another thing is happening. So I'm going to say here, if the cat is touching the color white, then what do I want to happen? So I'll say if the cat's touching the color white, then it's going to play this awful meow sound, and it's going to be terrible. So again, when the green arrow, I'm going to put it here. If he's touching the butterfly, then do this. If he's touching the color white. So that is what happens if you're in the forever loop. You kind of get an idea. There's some, you can make more blocks, but that's getting more advanced. If you want to start playing around with it, feel free. Same thing with making a variable. That's also getting more advanced. Operators, let me show you a game that I made so I can give this example to you. So my stuff, so I made this Pong game, and what happens is you play the game by hitting the ball to break the colored blocks, and I also had it make a slightly obnoxious sound, and you can score points, and up in the corner up here you see where my score is, so that's another variable you can put in to change the score every time something happens. So I want you to see inside, and I want you to see that it's the tennis ball that has all of the instructions here. So you pick when the green flag is clicked, it's going to go to a certain point on the board, and it will point towards a certain element, and then here's what will happen. So if it's touching purple, it'll rotate and shoot off. So those are all of the steps along the way. If you get confused about how to do this, one of the things I would recommend is going to the Scratch page, and you can go in and look at other people's games. So here's a piano playing songs. It looks like it's going to play songs. So that's amazing, and you can look inside, and here are the steps. So if you don't understand why something happens, go and look at all the steps. This is getting really advanced. But what you're going to do, I showed you a little intro, but the whole goal for you is that you're going to create a review game to go along with your grammar lesson relating to complements. So you can make whatever you'd like. Do you want to create a sprite? So I'm going to go and actually make a new sprite. So I'm going to say welcome, and welcome is not a compliment, as you've learned. And no, I don't want that. So welcome is my sprite, so I'll make my sprite sitting over here, and you could create a game where the cat goes along and gets a point for every time he touches a word that is a compliment. Or you could type sentences in, and the cat has to move to the compliment in the sentence. So the creativity here is yours. So making sure that you are somehow teaching or reviewing compliments. It's going to take you some time to figure out what kind of game you want. Before you really want to get into the details of Scratch, you want to figure out what kind of game you want, and then you can set it up in Scratch. So my recommendation to you is that before you even start in Scratch, you kind of jot down on paper what you want to happen in your game. How are you going to review compliments in your game? There's all kinds of really cool things you can do in Scratch. There are other tutorial videos that I'll share with your teachers so that they can share them with you. A lot of your classmates are going to be really good resources for this. Again, everybody's going to make errors. For kids in the class who have been doing this for a while, they will tell you. They click around sometimes trying to figure out what it is they want to happen. So have fun, play, enjoy it. I want to see some of your final products. When you're finished, you can share the product if you would like to. That's up to you. At this point, I need to figure out if it's okay for you to share it, but I will let you know more about that, and have fun.